Hello everyone, what's up? My name's Harold Meyer. For those of you that are new, hey, I like to do these videos to share the word of God and spread the gospel, and sometimes we play video games, and sometimes we watch Christian TV shows, and sometimes talk about Christian movies. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Genesis 7, 1 through 17. So yeah, let's get started.
Genesis 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 14 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days, that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day, were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, into the ark, they and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. And the waters...
so it was lift up above the earth. So what's going on? So basically, Noah grew up in a very corrupt world, very corrupt, and God was tired of it. So God said, look, Noah's faithful, I'm going to spare him and his sons and his sons' wives, and some animals that are clean and unclean. He's going to spare them. And I guess fish too, he would spare them too. Well, they might die, I don't know. But, yeah, so God was tired of it. God was tired of all the corruption. He was tired of all the sin. So he wanted to start over. He wanted to put in a game term, respond, mankind. And yeah, so I guess people, now that you hear that, you might ask, why did God only do that once? Well, God promised Noah that he would never, ever, ever do that again. He promised Noah that, and God does not break any promises. We as human beings, we break promises, but God doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. Now, he might test us. He might say, he might do something. He might allow something bad to happen to us, but we might come out stronger at the end. We might become stronger Christians. And listen, there are those of us right now that are being tested harshly. We might be in a poor country where we barely have any food, any money, or we might be in a rich country where we barely have food or any money. or we might be very depressed, or we might be very sad. Maybe we lost a loved one. We need to come together as human beings. We need to. We need to. Listen, there's this old Chinese proverb that basically goes like this: if you want to change the world, start with yourself. That's the way and sometimes we need to start doing things ourselves. Like for example, if I want to start smoking, stop everybody from smoking, maybe I need to stop too. Or maybe I need to do something to help others. Like for example, like I said, smoking, maybe start a recovery from smoking uh, organization. Or maybe it could be vaping, it could be, because some people think that's a little different. It could be drinking. Well, drinking, they already have, what is it? What is it? I'm trying to remember. I forgot what it's called, but they have this program in the US, Alcoholics Anonymous. It's called Alcoholics Anonymous, where you come together and you talk about what's going on in your life, and you say how many days you've been sober, how many days that you didn't drink. But yeah, and sometimes we need to come together. We need to find no, we need to find common ground with each other. Listen, whether you be Muslim or Jewish or Hindite or Christian, we're all human beings. We all are. We all are. And we need to work together to solve our problems. And not violently, unless all other options have failed. We need to do that. Because right now, I know that this is coming. Well, let me put it like this. Right now it's July 4th. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very hard on some of us, you know, on this day, because this might be the first July 4th we might be without a dad or mom or husband or uncle. We all need to come together, though. We all need to grieve together. We all need one another. We all do. We all need one another. We all do. And, we all need to be taught about it. I believe that we all should have a firm understanding of at least Christianity and Muslim and Islam. We all should have a firm understanding of those two, or Muslims, or whatever you call it. I might be confusing those, but I'm not no real expert, but we all should have at least a little bit of understanding of them. Because those are the two biggest religions, if I said that right, which I'm sorry if I didn't, but I hope I did. Two biggest religions in the world. And some people say that Christianity is not a religion, it's a relationship with God. And to those I say, I guess it all depends on what your definition of religion and relationship are. And listen, God, He can help you. He can. He can. Uh, he can. But the question is, are you willing to seek after Him? Are you willing to go the extra mile, to work harder, to be more than the sum of your parts, to change the world? Even if it's just, let's say, taking out the trash for a neighbor, that can be still a huge thing for somebody. Even if it's just helping somebody walk across the street. Even if it's just picking up a coin for somebody that can help somebody. Like, for example, I picked up a coin for a lady a long time ago at a grocery store, and she told me thank you because she just had back surgery. You see, we don't know all the little details sometimes. Sometimes we don't. 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 And we need each other. And listen, some people say it's not okay to accept help. Listen, if you need help, get it. Get it. Don't wait. Don't push yourself too hard to where you have to go in a hospital or something else, or something bad happens to you. You know. And there are those of us right now that live in corrupt world, corrupt in uh, sorry. There are those of us right now that live in cities where people are only looking out for themselves. And listen, I'm blessed. I live in something called the Bible Belt in the U.S. And what that is, it's a few states that they really teach about the Bible and about faith and about religion or whatever, or what else you want to call it, about, Christianity. All those, or most of them, have to, or because of Christianity. So I just heard a noise. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. But yeah, I just hope that I'm able to at least reach one person with these videos. And if not, well, I hope that God, He approves of them at least. And I'm doing everything biblically and accurately. I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna stutter. I'm going to maybe say the wrong verse. Maybe I might say Matthew 3:16 instead of John 3:16. For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only begotten Son, that whomsoever shall believe in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And let's get to the history of that Bible verse. The history of that Bible verse, okay, so it's talking about Jesus getting crucified on the cross and getting beat like there's no tomorrow and having to walk with his cross to the place where they put him up. And even he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do or have done, or something like that, or doing, or something like that. It might be translated a little differently in different Bible verses. By the way, I think this is the KJV, King James Version. KJV, yeah, King James Version. I'm trying not to touch my phone too quickly because it's just I've been having issues with my phone. Try not to touch it. I've been having issues with like connecting to my computer and stuff. So yeah. And listen, God, He loves you. He does. 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 He loves you. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. What does that mean? That means that He was there at the beginning of time and He'll be there at the end of time. That's what that means. Or at least that's what that means to me. Maybe it means something different to you. Different people can interpret the Bible in different ways. And to me, we need to always be trying to self-improve ourselves. There was I know that this is from a TV show, but there was this character, Data, from Star Trek The Next Generation. He was basically a robot, he's called an android, but he's basically a robot, and he's always trying to be human. But he knows that, or at least at first he thinks that he'll never be fully human. And one of the characters asked him, why even try? And he said this: the effort yields its own reward. And I think that applies to Christianity as well. The effort yields its own reward. In fact, it goes. Let me tell y'all from the beginning. We must try to be more than we are. Lo is the character that he's talking to. The effort lives. I'm sorry. The effort yields its own rewards. A reward. So we must always try to be more than we are as Christians. Well, hey, try to learn something new. Maybe y'all can learn just a verse from the Bible. Maybe y'all can learn what Peter 5 verse 15. I don't know what that is, but maybe y'all can learn that. Or maybe y'all want to learn something about Revelation. Maybe y'all thinking that maybe y'all have seen a sign at the end times. And y'all want to make sure that y'all are right. And listen, always, 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 always study the Bible, especially if somebody else is teaching it to you. Maybe, for example, in what was it? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember, but it talked about Genesis 1:1, and And let me read to y'all what most of the Bibles say about it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, or something like that. And this Bible verse says, "In the beginning of the was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was a God." I'm sorry if y'all didn't hear that right, but I'm doing the best I can right now. I'm sorry I might not have the newest equipment, the newest computers. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. But I would just like to thank God for what I do have. And that's what I think I talked about that last week, but we need to be thinking about what we do have. Like for example, Noah, he lost his land, he lost his house, he lost a whole bunch of friends, he lost a whole bunch of family members. He lost a lot. But he was able to survive with him, his sons, and his sons' wives. He was able to survive with them and a whole bunch of animals and stuff. But I'm pretty sure it got pretty smelly on that ark. And I hope that none of the animals got hungry because they would just eat each other, I guess. And listen, I might be wrong. Christianity might be a false religion. It might be. But I choose to believe that it is a real religion because of what's happened to me over the years. So, let me tell you a story. So, whenever I was young, I had this homework that was due, and I forgot it at the house, and I prayed to God, and somebody brought it to my school, and it came on the intercom. I did that same time the teacher called my name to give my homework. And she said something along the lines of, "You got very lucky." It wasn't precisely that, but she said something along those lines. And, you know, that's one, that's one of them I don't tell that often. Another one is, Well, this one I tell a lot. But whenever I was little, my sister, she had she had this disorder with her bones, and she was in a hospital, I think, and I think my mom was with her, and my daddy, he was either with them or working offshore. But anyway, I went to school that day because in the U.S. we have to go to school a certain amount of days, otherwise we fail. Well, or maybe some other legal action might be taken. But yeah. So I had on that day I had left the key. I had locked the keys in the house, and whenever I got back home from school, I realized it, and I prayed to God. And somebody or something opened the door for me. I don't know who or what that was because there was a curtain, and I couldn't see who it was. I couldn't see. And then the one I tell y'all the most is whenever I was little, I had this dream or vision or whatever you call it, where I was surrounded by darkness, and a voice told me that he was God, that he said that he wanted me to be a pastor. Well, as the years went on, I began to question that dream. I mean, was it just a dream? Maybe, maybe I'm misremembering things. And if it's a pastor, how should I be it? Well, like I said, I questioned that, and I prayed about that, and um, God told a friend of mine to tell me that He wants me to be a pastor and that I shall be ordained by my church. Which, guess what? I consider God's house to be my church. I do. This YouTube channel, the Facebook page, the X profile. Now we're on Reddit, I think. And what else? I did try out TikTok. I didn't really like it though. Maybe I could do videos like this on TikTok. I don't know. I don't know. But it's just right now things are kind of not looking too good with TikTok with the US and China and all of them. US, China, and TikTok. But guess what? The China banned YouTube, so I guess that's only fair. So now, if you're in China and if you go on YouTube, as far as I know, you're breaking the law. It's yeah, there's different ways to get around China's blockage of YouTube, but still, yeah. And oh, I want to tell y'all something. So this week or next week, we're gonna be changing a few videos. We're going to incorporate a book into our videos. And the book will be God in Video Games or something like that. I think it's called something. Also, we got 2 movies that I plan on doing. And I'm looking for 2 more for cheap, but I can't afford that much. One of the movies I bought was like $9. So I'm gonna be more with that with tariffs. But yeah, I just hope that I can at least reach one person. At least one. 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 If not, well, I hope that God approves of this and that He's proud of me. My dad said something the other day that made me very happy, and he said that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of both of you, basically. He's talking about me and my little brother, and I'm very proud of my little brother too. I am. I am. I am. And God might be saying that He's proud of us too. He might be, or He might be saying He's disappointed in us. And listen, I've sinned recently. It wasn't. I didn't hurt nobody though, but I did sin, and I need to ask God for forgiveness for that. I uh. I didn't break the law or anything like that. Let me put it like that. But somebody told me not to do something, and I did it anyway. I didn't break the law though, and it wasn't something illegal. It wasn't. Let me see. Uh, okay. I was just looking at something. I should have paused the video, but oh well. I was just looking at something. Yeah, and if y'all want to donate money towards me, let me know and we can work something out. I don't have any Cash Apps profile or any PayPal. I have I'm not sure if my PayPal and my Patreon account are still active, but if not, maybe I could reactivate them. I don't know. But if you don't want to give any money, you can like, share, and subscribe. If you dislike this video for any reason, maybe I misquoted scripture, maybe I uh maybe I paused too many times because this isn't scripted. Maybe I said maybe too many times. But yeah, if you dislike this video for any reason, that's okay. Just please tell me what you disliked about it. And y'all can hit that thumbs down button if y'all want. But if you like and if it's something personal, y'all can find me on Facebook. I have my own personal profile on Facebook. There should be a link, like if y'all want to, I can give y'all a link to it. And keep in mind, I'm doing these videos months ahead of time now, just to be sure that they get done. And I'm using the old equipment for the most part. The newest thing is my earbuds, and they came out in 2024. I just hope that we can reach people, that we can inspire people, that we can give people hope, give people kindness through the gospel. And sometimes, we as Christians, we need to stop doing things. For example, me, the only thing I think I do too much, aside from being on the electronics, is drinking some root beer. And normally that's 1 or 2 cans a day. But that's money that could go towards God's house. And let's say if I drink 2 cans a day, and if I get a 12-pack, well, I only have enough root beer for 12 days then. I mean, for 6 days, sorry, 6 days. 6 days. But I like root beer. I do like technology. I think that I need to spend less time on it, but most of the time, but maybe not, because most of the time I'm doing these videos like this on there. But maybe I need to spend less time on that and more time on something else. And more time on something else. And more time on something else. I said it 3 times. Yeah, I hope I don't forget it. And yeah, I just love doing this. One day YouTube won't always be there, but God will. God will. And people might make fun of my stuttering, my learning disability, my Tourette's. But God, He doesn't do that. He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. People might make fun of the way I dress, the fact that what I listen to, because sometimes I listen to some stuff from some old video games, or maybe like old like TV show themes I like to listen to, just to remind myself of my childhood. I like to do that, but I don't watch that though. I don't watch like old cartoons and stuff that things like that. I used to be into Power Rangers and uh I used to be into Yu-Gi-Oh! Sort of grounded that. But let me tell you something, and this is what I learned from my life and from a movie called Unbreakable Boy. This one right here. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all this one right here. Just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you can't change the world. Just because you're disabled doesn't mean that you can't help somebody or help some people. Doesn't mean that you can't inspire others. In fact, I think God prefers the people with disabilities. Why? Because the people with abilities take it for granted. And listen, I didn't know what it was like to have Tourette's um, in in school because it didn't really affect me in school. Well, it didn't affect. It didn't. I had maybe one or two whenever I was little, but I didn't know what that was, and they never found out till later on in life, till after I finished high school. It's about 2020, 2014, 2015, something like that. I was diagnosed with Tourette's, and yeah, yeah. And because I was diagnosed, and because it started so late in life, I'll probably have to live with it for the rest of my life unless there's a cure. And well, unless a cure is invented or discovered or whatever, which there might be. There's always that hope. There's always that hope. And to me, to be honest, sometimes that's all we have is hope. Because listen, sometimes some of us are struggling financially with the way the economy is. In fact, I heard Microsoft, they within about a year, they fired about 3 or 4% of their workers. And to some people that might not sound like a bunch, but to others that's a lot because Microsoft they have Xbox, they have Windows, uh they have video game companies that they own. Well, I guess it goes for Xbox, but still. Uh They're working with I think they're working with Meta with a Xbox VR thing. So they might have a VR Xbox whenever this comes out. Or it might have already come out. I don't know. I don't really keep track of Microsoft these days. Oh, and but the main things that they're known for is their Xbox brand and Windows. Windows computers and Windows operating system or Windows OS or OS too. Sorry, because they have more than one. They have more than one Windows OS. They have Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows whatever. And they have a lot. But anyway, we need to find hope sometimes. And sometimes God's like, you know what? You need to start over. And that's whenever we need to rededicate our life to God sometimes, and we need to sometimes get baptized again. Me, I was baptized, I want to say three times in my life I was baptized. 2 or 3 times, something like that. It might be 2 times. I think one of them was just I went to one. Yeah, it was 2 times. I just went to one. And I thought I was thinking I was baptized over there, but I wasn't. Don't you just love getting old? But yeah, and sometimes God calls us to ask for forgiveness in a prayer. Or sometimes He calls us to do a combination of all of the other options. You know, and sometimes God's like, you know what? You live in this poor country, you need to move, or you live in this rich country, but you need to see what it's like to be poor. So I'm gonna make you poor because you don't appreciate what you have, or maybe you are poor and God wants to bless you, but you're just not ready for it. You might not be ready for it. Maybe God is waiting for you to be ready for it. But listen, God loves you. He does. He 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 loves you. And He doesn't want you to be poor. He doesn't want you to be sad most of the time. You know, He wants you to learn from your lessons, so I guess be sad sometimes, but most of the time He doesn't want that. He wants you to be happy sometimes. Sometimes maybe angry at yourself. Sometimes He allows good things to happen to bad people and bad things to happen to good people. Sometimes He does. 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 And I don't know why I have Tourette's. Well, I guess to help somebody with Tourette's, maybe. Or I don't know why I was chosen to be a pastor. I don't know why I'm so blessed. I live in a rich. I say a rich country, but it's getting. It seems like it's getting less and less rich every day. But I live in the U.S. and things look like they're going downhill. But we're still rich. We still got right now. I have electricity. Right now, I have internet. Right now, I have my phone. Right now, I have a camera. Well, cameras, I guess, if you want to count the 2 that's on my phone, or maybe 3 that's on my phone. I have 2 I was gonna say 2 computers, but I have a Mac and I have a PC, a regular PC, a Windows one. I have a ton of DVDs. I have even something from my childhood, a little a little stuffed toy I used to play with that I don't no more. I have those things. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. And I'm very, very fortunate to have those things. I am. I have a good support system. It could be better, but I could be better too. So I have Christian friends. I have a mom and dad that love me. I have brothers and sisters that love me. I have a Blu-ray player, not 4K Blu-ray player, just a regular Blu-ray player. I have, I don't want to. I don't want to. Don't compare yourself to me. Please don't do that. Never do that. Never compare yourself to somebody else. Because why? Because sometimes we do it and we fall and we feel like we're falling short, but we're not seeing the entire picture. Maybe somebody is good with technology, but they're not good with engineering. Car engineering, not building PCs. Because if you're good with technology, you're probably good with building PCs, but you might not be good with a car engineer. Or maybe sometimes some of y'all work on other vehicles like airplanes and helicopters, or maybe y'all more into space travel. Maybe y'all more into what's it called? Like maybe you like to study like plants and animals. A bodice, I think that's what it's called. Not a Buddhist, but a bodice. Like bot as in robot and is as in is. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go, guys. Bye.